India, a country which is the most populous country of the world, where 60% of the population is covered by the youth. But today, the major problem our youth is facing, the problem of unemployment. Every year, according to data, we have to generate 80 lakhs job. Is this possible in a country where population is at explosion? Are we able to give jobs to the youth? And if not, where are we lacking in providing the jobs to the youth of our country? India, one of the fastest growing economy in the world, where we have the power of youth, where other countries see us as a most powerful country in the world. Why are we lacking? Why are we lacking in using the power of the youth? Our youth has the energy of doing anything, but still we are lacking it. So today we are going to talk about why our youth are lacking in skills, why we are not able to provide that kind of opportunity what a youth is required these days. So on that topic, today we have Mr. Vineet Kansal, who is a Dean of Undergraduate Entrepreneurship, Abdul Kalam Technical University. Today we are going to talk about how we can come up with the solutions of these. We have already talked about what are the problems, but where are the solutions? Because now it's the time where we have to talk about the solutions also. Sir, hello sir. Sir, as you are the Dean of AKTU, sir, what challenges are you facing in the technical university? Because every year we are generating 1.5 million engineers and only 9 to 7% are able to get the job because they are not skilled enough. So where are we lacking in giving those skills?
This question is very, very pertinent. In fact, the youth which is coming up, the graduate engineers which are coming up from our institutions, they are not being exposed. They are not being exposed to the worldly practices. They are not being exposed to the, global competitions. They are not being exposed to what are the expectation of industry. So because of these reasons, they are not being employed once it comes to the matter of employment. Secondly, we are, overburdening the system in terms of gap of employment versus actual employment. Exactly. And what is actually happening, we have more number of candidates than the actual requirement of the industry. Now when you see in the core sector, there is a lot of crunch, and most of the students, especially in the engineering streams, are being absorbed into the IT sector. But there is a limit of everything, and IT as a support lifeline of the life these days. You have all variety of jobs. So you will find a person who is being employed for very low salary to crores of rupees a package. Exactly. You always hear this student from this institution is being getting such a huge package. Exactly. And that becomes a dream or a fancy in a society. Oh, if that has gone, my son or my daughter or I should go, and that is why I should go for engineering branch, rather than we are doing our own analysis, self-analysis, or we are doing the analysis for our children, what is to be done. We are just running a race, which has got no meaning actually, and because of that, there is a lot of problems into the society.
So then everybody knows that there is a problem of skill. Then what our AKTU is doing to bridge that gap between the skills what employers want and what the youth is lacking. Like I have heard that in AKTU is also coming up with entrepreneurship and colleges are opening incubation centers. Is there a profit of that? Are we able to implement that?
Yes, again a very, very relevant question. See, when we are talking about the entrepreneurship, innovation, incubation, this is actually has to complement the jobs which are available. We somehow in Indian society become a service sector based society. We are looking for a job where we need to work 10 to 5 and then we relax with the family. Somehow this dream in itself is not a kind of culture by which our entire Indian mythology is being driven to, and we should look forward to work to 24 hours, right? If not consciously, in our unconscious subconscious mind, those work should go on. And having said this, until unless we do not determine to work for that way, we always look forward to get a job and job oriented mindset if we have, that will not going to serve any purpose. So we need to work, we need to create jobs, we need to become an entrepreneur. And we always believe in every institution of our AKTU and every institution, whether it is a private institutions or the government institution, we have good students. Percentage may vary, but we have good institution in every place. And these good students have very, very innovative and good ideas. And somehow we were not able to tap those ideas. So we started startup parikramas. Then in order to create an ecosystem, we started Kalam Entrepreneurship League so that an environment can be created. And the time when we have central government and a state government which are promoting, these, and they have a lot of schemes to support and encourage. So we also initiated and we made an initiative under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor to take up those endeavors as a challenge to create a ecosystem whereby our students do think in terms of creating jobs rather than aspiring jobs. Recently, we have on the occasion of our late Honorable President Dr. Abdul Kalam, we initiated, investor summit, and we have created a lot of event onto it. And out of the 44 teams which have been the winner of this startup parikrama, which participated into this investor summit. In investor summit, there were a lot of angel investors who come and who wanted to have those ideas and to understand. So the students, they were talking about what kind of investment you get it, and what are the promises they made it, how they are evaluating it. So their entire tone, dialect, wordings have changed rather than तुम्हारे को job कितने का मिला, क्या हुआ, कैसे placement हुआ. So rather than placement, they are talking about now, what kind of investment they are getting it. So this is, a kind of game changer situation whereby if we can create into the mindset of our youth, you have to develop, you have to live up for your passion and do, whatever you are learning and doing in your for the betterment of your society. That would be actually, solving a kind of major problem of unemployment, because we should not look forward the service sector much rather than having a distrust in our own and looking forward to someone who is work for you. And on the top of it, again, global practices exposure, as I said, into the response of your previous question. So this global exposure, we are working continuously. We have taken up our courses also through the massive open online courses. So in the last semester, our final year students have done, 45,000 students have done a course on MOOCs, for which the credit is being transferred, and they were not charged even a single penny. And in spite of getting this credit transfer, they are also getting an online certificate also, signed by IIT Kanpur and Dr. APJ Kalam Technical University. So it was, once you learn a course which is of global standards, so you feel a confidence. I am not sitting in a remote area, and I probably could do, which I am not doing it. I am in a disadvantaged situation. So this fear of, feeling yourself depressed and disadvantaged is actually our enemy, and this should go. So we are trying, from the university side, our all students are equal, all institutes are equal, and they should be given an equal opportunity at least in order to expose their ideas and they to come forward.
So as you have talked about the online courses, but there is also a thing that we don't have that skilled faculties also. So what we are facing is there is a lack of faculties in good colleges, and there are not enough faculties. So how can we concur with that thing?
See, faculties are there as per the AICT norms. All colleges do have those fulfilling their norms. Then only they are being given an affiliation and extension of approval by AICT, vis-a-vis by the university also. Yeah, as far as you're talking about the skills and the quality of the faculty, I personally believe all five fingers are not equal. There are many faculty who are very, very good classroom taskmaster. At the same time, there are some faculty who are very, very research oriented. There are some faculty who are taking the students into the laboratory and getting the good innovative work done, and they treat the students like their own children. So faculty quality is not actually a problem, but on the top of it, there is a need to upgrade and to follow the world standards. And for that matter, as I said, we are taking our courses onto the online courses also. And in our first year now, from 2018 session onwards, we have initiated BTech honors degree program, whereby 20 credit hour the students would be doing through online NPTEL courses.
Okay. Is that mandatory?
This would be mandatory if the student would like to earn the BTech honors degree.
Okay.
Normal degree would be a 160 credit hour, and if you want to do BTech honors degree, then you need to do 180 credit hour. So in order to do that, those 20 credit would be earned through NPTEL courses, online courses. And these courses are being designed and being delivered by the professors of IITs and ISC Bangalore. So these are of world practices, and they are of world standards. At the same time, we are also creating, and we are into the process of developing our own MOOCs laboratories and studios, whereby we are going to identify good teachers into our ecosystem, and they would be delivering and solving the problems of the students. So any student of any college can be benefited by a teacher who is good and appreciated by many of the students in the region.
That's nice.
So we are not into a race of promoting NPTEL or SWIM. We are looking forward to take an advantage of any platform for that matter, and we are creating our own MOOCs platform also, whereby the students can be exposed to industry standards, can be exposed to what are the need into the curriculum, or to the courses where they have a lot of challenges. And in order to complement what is being taught by the teachers into the class of that particular institute, from the they can also see what is being followed in other colleges at the university level.
Okay. So, like recently, AKTU has shut down 40 colleges of post graduation because of the low attendance and there were no admissions. So, then, before, if we talk about the last 2 decades, they were chunking out of BTech graduates like in millions. But now we are seeing a change in it. So, what do you think? It's a positive change or it's a negative change?
See, as far as the closure of the institutes are concerned, see, running anything need a lot of flexibility, but flexibility with norms and discipline. If attendance is not there, if the teachers are not going to the classes or the students are not coming to the classes, both situation are not an healthy situation. And for that matter, we are coming up very soon by a system whereby we can monitor, we can digitize actually the hard copied registers of all the institutions onto a portal on the university. So we can see what is going on, what kind of classes are happening, and on a monthly basis, we can review where how many classes of what subject has actually happened, and vis-a-vis we can also inform to the parent this is what is actually happening. So nobody can actually make a play what is actually not happening and happening.
Exactly. Sir, and then there is a thing that engineers who are come out of colleges, they are not well with the communication skills, or we talk about it, then soft skills. So what our universities are doing for those soft skills, because technical knowledge and the bookworm knowledge is not enough for that. So what AKTU is doing for that?
Again, a very pertinent question, and I feel this is another area whereby our good students are lacking in order to express their own ideas, because they feel speaking in English is the only medium where they can express. They somehow feeling shy and shady if they have to speak in Hindi. So yes, so communication in order to address this area, as I said, we are talking about 20 hours of 20 credit hours for MOOCs based courses. And keeping that thing only in mind, we have introduced 2 courses on MOOCs on NPTEL. One is developing soft skills and personality, which is being offered for this semester, and for the odd semester of 2018-19, and enhancing soft skills and personality. That is a course which will be launched in the even semester of the same year. So students can take up these courses, and they can do at any time at their leisure time, whenever they are free they can do these courses. So this would be actually fulfilling and exposing them what should be the personality trait which are required by the industry. and on the top of it, they can they there are good practices being followed by some of the institutions also in order to improve their communication skills,
Especially,
analytic.
I see this problem in UP only because people are from rural areas. Basically, most of the students are from rural
Yes,
areas.
so good colleges are doing it, but these are already being as a burden. So they need to study the courses and they need to do these kind of courses because this is very important ingredient.
Exactly.
So we are trying to inculcate these kind of courses through online courses or otherwise also, whereby they are getting a sufficient time, they are not being overstressed, so within the regular time framework they can do these things and they can groom themselves. And for that matter, the course curriculum of of the BTech program is being reduced from 192 credit hour to 160 credits. So 32 credits means roughly around 10 courses. So 10 courses in 4-year program you are losing it. It means one course in each semester. And one course in each semester which you are actually not doing, that time is being invested for the courses like personal development, English, exploring the world, exploring the problems of the society, so that you can devote
Basically,
it.
the real life applications of it.
Correct. So rather than giving them all the time course and mugging them up, we would like to give some time they to be exposed to the problems and solve that problems.
Okay, sir. And recently we have seen a chain like companies who they are hiring the students, graduates from the high like good universities, and then they hire them, and then they give them the training for 1 year, for 6 months, whatever. And after giving that training of 6 months and 1 year, then they take the exam and then they chunk them out. They fire them out without even giving a job. They say that you are not skilled enough after doing the 1 year of training. And so, don't you think that that process is wrong? We should not train that particular graduate student for 1 year and then you're firing that particular person out. That's wrong.
See, in fact, in a system when the students are being trained, whether it's an MBA student or engineering students or any professional discipline, they are being trained or they are being given a knowledge in a particular framework. But applications are numerous. When you go to IT industry or you work for many companies or you do an application of that knowledge, the manifestation and the process followed are different. Meaning thereby the companies needs to train the students into a productive professionals, and that takes some time. In roughly this process is not lesser than 3 months to 6 months, in some cases to 1 year. Then only they feel the graduate which they have taken it is actually productive and can be of some benefit. Otherwise, they need to invest a lot of time and training cost is involved. But if the chunk which has been taken is not performing, in that case there is no option. They need to be
But
taken
that
out.
student has like given his 1 year, and after doing like everybody's like, likewise you said ki all fingers are not same. But after 1 year, like without any notice, without saying anything and chunking them out, तो उनका 1 साल तो वो waste हुआ ना sir.
See, there are two things which we need to carefully see. One is, the students who do not perform in academics, they are also being flunked and they are being dropped.
Okay.
Because it is not if you fail in one course, you are being out from the university.
Exactly.
There are rules, guidelines which are transparent and known. Same applies to the corporate world. When you join, you know that if I'm not performer, then I'm going to be, nobody is going to carry the bag, heavy bag without any reason. And I'm sure companies where the students are being recruited, the corporate world is very cautious and they also share those kind of things. But if it is, without any reason, one fine day you think like this and you take, this is very unethical, unprofessional, and those kind of companies are lose their reputation and no good professionals do join those.
Exactly.
Yes, that is a natural
But
cycle.
big companies, prominent companies are doing this, sir. Because they have too much of too much of students, so they know okay, if we are going to fire 10 students, then 20 others are in line.
See again, I am not sure which company you are referring to, and I am not aware of. But what I can see with my wisdom, there is always a clause in the appointment letter. If see the companies which are doing, it's a kind of business. And for business, there is no they are not running in charity. If they feel, for particular trade, the kind of person which is being hired for some X amount, and they are getting X minus delta amount of people who are readily available and to work on their terms. So why not? They would, give a notice or give a salary, whatsoever the terms and condition, and they will, and that is a normal process, and that is one of the effect. As I said in the beginning, there are a lot of jobs, and majority of the students are being absorbed in the IT sector. Whether IT trained graduate or non-IT trained graduate, all are being absorbed in IT sector. So it means you have a lot of people who are skilled and not skilled formally in their graduation for IT based services. They are being working in IT sectors. So there is always a tough competition. So the people who are been working and they are not grooming themselves, there is always a challenge. And if you do not work to grow yourself and to brush up yourself with the update knowledge, there is always a threat. The people will take over, new generation will take over.
And so, like we have also already taken, you also have taken so many initiatives. So, what according to you, what according to you initiatives are not done, and we have to do it immediately because that's the instant need of our nation right now. Because we are going to be a youth-centric nation, and we are still a youth-centric nation. Then, tell me just one or two initiative which should be done right now.
So from the university side, we are working on two initiatives rigorously, which are our agenda for next 3 years. One is the training placement and skill building, on which we are started working actually, and we would be focusing in a big way. And secondly, we would like to take up our endeavor, which we already initiated in last 1 year, a startup innovation, incubation, and entrepreneurship. We would like to strengthen that further in a big way, so that our youth is being benefited out of it.
So, any last thing you want to say to our youth, because our youth is going to be are the most powerful thing in our nation. So, anything you want to say?
We should feel pride what we are. We have a very rich culture and heritage to the society we belong to. We should respect our elders. We should not break the social fabric, because that is the mother of our entire setup and further growth. So I think that is my message or my feel. The people should respect to what they belong to.
Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us.
सब्सक्राइब करें हमारे YouTube चैनल को और हर अपडेट पाने के लिए बेल आइकन को दबाएं।